to a 45-minute roundtable, which is a very private and targeted event co-organized by Business Friends and its regional partner Invest in Côte d'Azur. We're very pleased to have a dozen of innovative North American companies around the virtual roundtable, all ready to listen to what Southern France has to offer in the smart mobility industry. After Business Friends and Invest Côte d'Azur introductions, you will have the chance to listen to three key actors of the region. Pierre, the CTO of the company Epicnpoc, Eric, the CEO of IMREDD, the Mediterranean Institute of Risk, Environment and Sustainable Development, and Leonard, who is in charge of the international business development of the company VeeA. Next slide. A few introduction words to show you that France is a very attractive country to set up a business in. As a matter of fact, in 2019, France has been the leading host country in Europe for foreign investment in industry and R&D, and actually in front of Germany and the UK. France is also a place to be for smart mobility, as the industry represents 45,000 direct jobs and a turnover of more than 4.5 billion euros per year. The automotive industry is also a huge industry in France, in Europe, and part of the world as well. France is also a vibrant, innovative scene with the best R&D tax credit in Europe called the CIR, Crédit d'Impôt Recherche. We also have a strong network of clusters, research institutes, trade associations and federations, but also incubators and accelerators. It's not shown here, but I just want to highlight something and say that the French government has been conducted over the past 3 years now a vast program of pro-business reforms, lightening corporate taxation and reforming the labor law. The main objective of these reforms is obviously to encourage investment and employment. Well, that being said, I want you to know that Business France, as a national public agency, is here to help you to lead your investment project in France. We have legal and tax experts at the head office in Paris, but Business France also relies on a national and regional network of public and private sector partners. We actually help different type of companies, from startups to multinationals. We follow different types of projects, creation, extension, acquisition, partnerships as well, and at different stages, from business plans to implementation. And Amandine, who is here with me today, and myself, we are both, based in the USA and ready to help you, to facilitate those processes. Well, this is exactly what our partner Invest in Côte d'Azur does at the regional level. And let me introduce you now to Jean-François Schapfrom, who is the head of international networks for the Team Côte d'Azur agency. Well, Jean-François, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to introduce the area. So I'm going to give you a few slides. It's going to be 5 minutes presentation. So if you have any other questions after, I'd be pleased to answer. Let me share the documents with you in order to give you this information. I hope that it's going to be of use for those who don't know the region, and I hope everybody is having a good view of this presentation. I hope it's a good document. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just check. Are you okay with this? Or
it's good, Jean-François. We can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That just me. I have to see them also. So okay. I think the first slide is an introduction, but it gives you a good idea of what we are. We used to be a touristic place with a very nice environment. We're stuck in the mountains and the sea, and we are open to Italy, to the Mediterranean Sea. We are a very international place, but we have a successful diversification over the last 30 years in the high-tech industries. And today, this is what I want to introduce. We're a place of industry and tech with 4 or 5 different locations. One is Sophia Antipolis Science Park. We are the first science park in Europe by the size, where we have this very similar to Silicon Valley type of development. And the science park has its 50th anniversary last year. And it's now home of a large number of companies. More than 30,000 people are working within this area, which is quarter the size of Paris, and all dedicated to high-tech activities with a strong cooperation between the academic world, the industry, and the research world. Nice, of course, is the capital city, and it's a very advanced area in terms of smart city project. And close to Nice, we enjoy a big operation around sustainable development called Nice Eco Valley, and it's 4 times the size of Sophia Antipolis, and one of the major operations of that type in France. Probably I would be focusing on these 2 major areas because the others are probably well known by American people like Cannes for the film festival, but we have a gaming industry and an aerospace industry close to Cannes. And Grasse, also very powerful, but it's the traditional area for us, the area where we have manufacturing activity around the perfume and the flavor industry. But it's very, very important because it's nearly 10% of the world market in this industry. I just want to point out also the Nice International Airport. This airport is very important for us because it's, first of all, it's the 2nd airport in France, but it covers all the major European cities within less than a 2-hour flight from our location, which makes the location a very central one in Europe and very accessible. Of course, we are very open to either the US and recently China with the direct connection with Beijing, and very open to, as you can see, the Mediterranean location. But today I think it's important to point out the fact that we have these weekly connections with New York and with Montreal in Canada. Something that is important for us also is to give you a very good overview of what we are. I mean, we have a lot of tech clusters in the area. This is a part of national policy where they want to fund in the last 10 years a very important strategy around the clusters where you can find big companies, small companies, but also academic players, and they provide the companies with a lot of funding for the projects, and that's some part of the economic development policy of France. We enjoy a large number of these clusters, among which we have the #1 cluster in France for secured communicating solutions, because this is our DNA here in the area. But also it shows you that when you come to the place, you're not as isolated. It's not a place you choose because of the sun or because of the nice quality of life, but also because from a professional point of view, I mean, you can enjoy a very structured environment where to develop your business. And it's very true and important for the foreign companies, of course. Just to jump on the subject we shared today, we created with my friends that are going to speak later on, but also with other industry players, bigger one, and many people going into the process. I mean, we created what we called Smart Vehicle Côte d'Azur, which is a true value chain ecosystem in order to not only federate and animate the local community, but also to provide the companies and the newcomers with projects together with the French national government or the European level in many areas. And one of them is very well illustrated by Epicnpoc. You will see, and Pierre probably will explain that. Of course, and that's very important, we not only have tech players, but also we have people in the electric vehicle. We have, of course, people coming from the pure automobile industry, but we are not, our history is not automobile, it's more telecommunications, wireless telecommunications, and we are very well integrated. Therefore, I think it's a very strong ecosystem where the land areas, Sophia, but also Nice, are very much integrated and dynamic in this ecosystem. And this is something I think very important. Artificial intelligence, also something very connected to our subject. It's a more recent subject in the area. But we have already been selected as one of the 4 major areas in France, with an excellent center with the university and also the areas and the companies around 2 major subjects today. One, the e-health, and the other is smart territories. This is our subject, where IA has a very great impact. And we believe this is going to be one of the major areas of development of the region in the future. Well, this is just to show the major areas and research teams where we have in the area, but I think it's going to be more developed by my friends later on. Just one slide to tell you that one of the major reasons for the company to come in the area is, of course, the fact that we have a nice tax credit on research, but more because we have a big bench of talents, and if we don't have them on site, we can attract them easily from all over Europe, and we then become a nice place for the company who wish to establish the business in the area, because I think that are the competitive locations in this area, they suffer from a lack of talents, or a big struggle on talents, like the Silicon Valley or major clusters in Europe, in Germany, for example. And we have here a good number of talents willing to stay on site, and that can be the good starting points for R&D teams for foreign companies. And that's one key element for us. We don't not only attract investors, but we also attract top talents. And just to make an end to this presentation, I want to say that we are, as Elodie, thank you, Elodie, we described, we are the partner of Business France. Our job is, of course, to promote the area high-tech aspects and to attract inward investors. And we help the companies to make the decision, but once the decision has been made by the company, we help the company through the relocation process. And once the relocation process has been achieved, we help the company to really integrate into the local ecosystem. So I think that with the special context we live today, what we built as in terms of relationship and integration of people is even more important than it was in the past. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you, everybody, and I leave the floor to my colleagues to explain their subject, and I'm ready to answer all the questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, Amandine, if you hear me, I think that we can introduce the roundtable now. Yeah,
absolutely. So we'll start with the roundtable, but before we do so, I think Pierre, Eric, and Lenny are going to introduce themselves very briefly. So Pierre, if you want to start.
Yeah, okay. Very happy to be with you. So I'm Pierre Sigrist, CTO of the small startup called Epicnpoc. Epicnpoc is a weird name, but it's really illustrating what we are doing. In fact, in our day-to-day activity, we are transforming the epic, the story, what you have in mind, into a POC, proof of concept. And so this is the solution we are promoting. We are a software-centric company. We are developing software solutions for smart and user-centric products. We are located in Sophia, Antipolis, and in Paris, because most of the business is also in Paris. In fact, we are a small startup, but we have, let's say, more than 150 years of experience, because we are former employees from VeeA, which is a tier 1 company in the automotive domain. So this is something that we pretty well know on our side. And just to provide you with an overview of our, let's say, activities in the 2 past years, we have been the preferred partner for VeeA, which is the major tier 1, French tier 1 in the automotive, to support them in their 2 last CES, and we have developed in collaboration with them their 4 main demos they have presented each time.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Dumetz. I'm a director of IMREDD, which is a French acronym for Mediterranean Institute for Risk, Environment and Sustainable Development. And this institute is a part of University Côte d'Azur. And my colleague, Paulo.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Paulo Moura, Head of Innovation and Strategic Partnership at IMREDD, and I run the projects for mobility and data governance here.
So IMREDD is a special institute. Our job is to link together all the activities of research, education and industrial developments in the field of smart city. And we have defined 4 fields of strategic study: the smart district areas, and the smart building focus on energy, the smart mobility, of course, and the risk, natural risks, and the environment. So with that, we create innovation with partnership and all the local authorities.
Thank you. Lenny, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. My name is Lenny Glazman. I work for VeeA. I'm in international business development. I'm based in Paris, but thanks to Team Côte d'Azur, IMREDD, Epicnpoc, and the other partners of the share, we're working more and more in the Nice area. Nice, Cannes, Sophia, Antipolis. I'm just going to quickly share one slide to explain a little bit what we're doing at VeeA. So at VeeA, we're a 150-person company based out of the United States. And to make it really, really simple in less than 1 minute, we really have a smartphone and app store business model. So we have a physical hub called the VeeA Hub, which manages multiple services in one. So we have an edge compute server, we have multiple security platforms, we have storage, we have an IoT gateway, a mesh router, and an access point within one hub. So our business model is really based on partnerships and helping other companies connect so that the end client, for example, a city, and that's what we're working on with IMREDD notably, can have access to many, many applications in a very malleable and scalable way. So thanks to all the work that we've been doing down in the region, this has accelerated a lot of our work and a lot of our partnerships, and we're very, very grateful for that.
Okay, thank you, Lenny. So now we'll move on to the roundtable. Just so you know, and it's been said before, but there's the chat box to the top of the platform. So if you have any questions, do feel free to ask them, and we'll try to answer them as we go. So the first question would be for Pierre. So you told us about your solution, but can you go more into details onto what the solution is and how does it integrate into the global mobility and the automotive solutions?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to share also some slide on my side, so that perhaps it will be easier for you to understand what we are proposing. In fact, Epicnpoc is very proud to participate for the first time to its digital CES and presenting the product that is really the outcome of the 2 years we have been spending developing for the others. With an internal know-how, and we have due also to the COVID, which is the good aspect of the COVID, let's say, we have shifted our activity from the service we were supporting our customers into product, and we have created the ball. And the ball, before disclosing what it is like in the kitchen. This is a smart recipe where you have ingredients, a library of components that are technologies, that are devices, hardware. Then you have the cookbook. This is what you are going to create with this component, the experience you are going to live with this component. You have the cookware. This is the way you accommodate, you create your own recipe. And then you have our secret ingredient, which is really the backbone of this product. Here's the experience manager, the connectivity, the backbone to connect everything all together. And at the end of the day, once you have mixed all this stuff, you have created your recipe. Of course, your meal is ready. So the bowl is really so the first incarnation of the bowl we are releasing at CES is the bowl automotive, because this is really our DNA. And all of you, in fact, knows that you can have the best technology if the customer does not accept, if this does not understand the let's say the advantages of this technology in the experience is going to live. Unfortunately, it will be let's say a failure. Okay, your product will not be able, in fact, to encounter the success you are expecting. So the goal, in fact, of this bowl is really to create an automotive cockpit where you have, in fact, a multi-user life on board. We have created, in fact, HMIs, GUIs, moving seats. We have, in fact, gathered perhaps not the best of the technology, because the best technology is in your hand, but we have created, in fact, all the let's say the plugs to connect your technology inside this cockpit, so that you can really experience what your future product will be inside this cockpit. This cockpit is figuring out the new mobility, where, in fact, the cars, the tomorrow cars, are going to let's say to be owned less and less by the driver. There will be more car sharing. This car will be more and more automated, and in fact, you have to invent the life on board by having sometimes some a global experience where you are sharing the things with the others, part of the others, all of the others, and sometimes you need to have privacy, where you need to listen to your music. You need to listen, in fact, to your code with the right integration. We have created all this environment to support also the multimodal interaction, where you can interact with the system with different manners that are more suitable with your the way you expect to interact with the system. And at the end of the day, it's also a good starter kit to demonstrate, in fact, the benefit of the safety and the ADAS of the that is provided by the autonomous driving car that will be the future of the car. So before, in fact, delivering their product, OEMs, tier ones can, in fact, use, experiment, test, fail fast in order to learn quickly. And we are proposing, in fact, this product, which is a functional buck, where you have a cluster, infotainment, the seats you can pilot. You have a real seat entertainment for the end users. You have audio, and all these components are driven by an experience studio, where you can create your story. You can create, in fact, how you want this cockpit to operate. You can add, of course, your new modes, the way the cockpit is reacting. You can add, of course, your own technology, your component, so that you can validate them and integrate them, so that at the end of the day you have the future product that you are going to propose to your customers. Okay, so the automotive component library is made of this list, where we have GUIs, we have multi-audio zone, we have interior lighting, we have user recognition, the power seat that can adjust to the users. We have the VeeA that is currently integrating. We are integrating the VeeA inside this bug. We have the touch surface. We have the script recognition. So you have plenty, in fact, of of technologies that really help the tier ones and the OEMs to let's say fulfill the needs of the life on board for the next generation of vehicle. And we think that by providing this product, which is really a combination of what Epicnpoc is, means the Epicnpoc has been created with the former innovation manager of Visteon, the experienced designer of Visteon, and the advanced engineering of Visteon. We think that you can also easily translate your proof of concept into the production aspect by either transitioning what you have created inside this bowl into your product, or to get from the product the specification of this what you have created, in order you can put and provide the specification to your engineering team. With this product, in fact, and this is really the mission of Epicnpoc, we try to fill the gap between the innovation and the production, where most of the time, and especially in the automotive, you have a nice demo that has been created by somebody which has not the automotive know-how, which is creating a lot of expectation in front of the visitors that are looking for this demo. And then there is a gap, because between this beautiful demo and the engineering of the tier one or the OEM, there is nothing. There is a no man's land where everything needs to be re-engineered. You need to reverse the engineering of this demo in order to figure out how it has been created. Okay, so the goal is from the time being focusing on the automotive, but of course we are also working in the smart city domain by creating also smart devices with this technology. We are collaborating with, for example, with Colas to create smart parking with direction providing to the newcomer on the parking. And we are also working on smart zebra in order to help pedestrian to cross the road, and to attract the attention of the drivers. Okay. So this is
No, thank you, Pierre. And I guess like the one of the next question, because you're an example of a perfect example of a company that's completely embedded into the ecosystem. So one of the questions we want to know is how with Eric at IMREDD, how IMREDD works with innovative companies such as Epicnpoc and VeeA. So Eric, how do you collaborate? And then maybe Lenny, you can tell us how it's been helpful for you and for what you do with traveler satisfaction, how the being embedded in that ecosystem has been helpful.
Lenny, you want to answer?
I thought Eric was going to answer.
Oh, okay, Eric. Sorry.
Thank you, Pierre. You are a big speaker. Okay, so as I said before, we are worked with the ecosystem by defining a new form of cooperation between researchers, startup, and cluster, and also the local authorities. So that is the ecosystem that we speak about. And in the field of smart mobility, we have many projects with companies like Connected Tramway with Alstom and the City of Nice, Mobility as a Service, First Step, and Last Miles, Connected Vehicles, and Autonomous Shuttle, Smart Traffic. For each project, the goal is to create innovation by linking engineers from IMREDD, researchers from laboratory and companies. And so how we do that? We apply technologies such as IoT, data life cycle, and nowadays artificial intelligence to help us to address citizens' problems in smart cities use case. And for that, we work with Epicnpoc and VeeA, and we have create A share is a big project for the university where we link together the researchers and the startup and the laboratory, and Epicnpoc help us to create this chair called UX, User Experiences for Smart Life, Home and Mobility. So I give the speak to Paolo because he's better than me in English. And it's for you, just for you.
So no, but I think the chair is quite important because at IMREDD technology, they put the IMREDD technological platform, and we put all the forces of our partners side by side to work together to innovate. So we working, for example, with VeeA to design use case in a real scale, in the scale of a city, to test their solutions. And also IMREDD works as a showroom in France. So the share is not just for research, but also as a platform for to show off the technology and create some scales to scale the solution. It's not just in a lab, but it's really in the city.
An example?
A good example last week, I think we got the hall of the fame was one of the main shuttle, autonomous shuttle we test in the city. And just to show how we work, we got the authorization to test the autonomous shuttle in the city, make 3.5 kilometers in a buckle in turn with the mayor of the city inside the autonomous shuttle. So it's really the participation of the city to help us to test the solutions, and that's just the start of the project. So in the end of the project, we will integrate the shuttle into the public transportation system. So that's the main point of the work together. We design technology, we create the use case, and we deliver a solution for the city.
We also work with Epicnpoc, VeeA, and other companies to bring money from region, from state. It depends by create a consortium and to give some innovation for the territory and to bring money for that together. So. Welcome in Nice. It's a good place to work and to create innovation.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And so Lenny, on your side, can you tell us how you work with IMREDD? I know you're working with other partners, but how is it helpful for you and for the business?
Sure. I'll just share my screen. I don't have as many slides, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Just to give a little bit of context, in our company, I'm actually the only person in Paris. We have now 4 people in France, but one of the reasons it was great to work with, first of all, Invest in Côte d'Azur, and then obviously with IMREDD, with Epicnpoc. I also see Secure has joined the webinar. Is that when you're alone doing business development in a country and trying to open up the market, it's hard to get contacts. First of all, there's a lot of things that you have to go around. There's a lot of admin. You don't necessarily know about all the things that are going around. It was hard for us to get a bank account. Obviously, Invest in Côte d'Azur helped us with that. We also got government grants, thanks to them, for research and development. And also, we were thrown into this true ecosystem in the south of France, where, first of all, I was given a lot of business development contacts, which obviously helps. And then we were asked to join the share. So we're working closely with IMREDD right now. And as you can see from our slide, we're really concentrated at VeeA at doing network infrastructure architecture. So we're going to be able to help a company, a city, a building, a retail location, small and medium business, aggregate all of those separate solutions that they have that all work great, but independently, that don't talk to each other, and then bringing them into one place. So one of the great things about working with IMREDD is that beyond being a university and all that goes along with that, they have, you know, research and development. They have a lot of PhDs in there. They have students, potential interns that will be working on our platform as well. But they also have a business mindset, and they understand at the end of the day, VeeA is a business, and the bottom line counts. So all the applications that we are creating, we're creating them for a specific business goal. And as Paolo rightfully mentioned earlier, we have this platform to play with, which is a giant showroom in IMREDD's beautiful new building, which I was very happy to be part of the inauguration. And on top of that, we have actual cities as POCs. And a company like VeeA, who does a lot of projects that really, you know, we're bringing a lot of partners. We're bringing in cloud partners, we're bringing in hardware partners, we're bringing in partners that do specific applications using, you know, multiple platforms that we can use, such as LoRa, such as Zigbee, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, USB, people who are working with edge computing. We can test all of that live in a city with a university, with all of that power, and with the ecosystem that's been provided by Invest in Côte d'Azur and more globally, Business France. And once again, when you're doing business development alone and you're just thrown into an actual ecosystem who really wants you to be there and who helps you out with taxes, they help you out with banks. I already live in France, so I didn't, you know, I don't need to relocate but trust me, French administration is not the easiest thing for a foreigner. It really helps to have that you know, hand holding, and they really want you to be there, and you really feel that, and we're very, very glad at VeeA to be a part of the consortium, and to be working with all these people.
Thank you, Lenny. So there's a question, and I'll get back to it soon. But Lenny, so why did you choose France? You know, in the first place, to open the foreign office, and you said it was the ecosystem was very instrumental. But why did you choose the southern France?
So originally, I've been living. I'm an American, but I've been living in France for 20 something years now. We started getting more and more demands and potential customers within France. But once again, the south of France really just brought us a whole entire ecosystem. We were not, it wasn't just me going up to, you know, knocking on doors, asking for help and asking to see if anyone wants to test out a POC and try and develop an individual project. What's great with coming in with partners such as Epicnpoc, IMREDD, the University of Nice, is you really have the full power of an ecosystem, a university, and a city, and even a region for some projects coming at you. We're potentially, you know, have extremely great PR that can come with that. We have a shared marketing budget within this consortium that we have, but we also can come up and do a pitch with a proven model of, you know, 10, 15 partners and a whole region backing you up. So that's definitely something that, in terms of pure business development and growing, is a huge win for us, and no regrets on that side.
And what would be the next steps for you to grow your business in France?
Hopefully our POCs do better than expected, and I'm looking at Eric and Paolo. And then once again, as I was saying, IMREDD was a very close partners of ours. They also have a business mindset beyond the R&D, beyond the university, beyond the research. That's very important for them. But they also understand that if we have a proven business model that works, let's say in Cannes or Sophia, Antipolis or Nice, we can also bring that elsewhere, and we can keep on growing. So, you know, we also, and it also goes both ways. We've also been able to bring our existing partners into the ecosystem. Recently, we signed a partnership with Microsoft Azure. IMREDD has been open arms, and more partners we want to bring in, and it's just very, very easy to do business. And since it's so easy to do business, we want more people on the ground, and we want to keep on bringing in people, keep on using interns. And there's, as Jean-François was saying earlier, there's a lot of talent on the ground, so that it just makes it easier to do business.
Thank you, Lenny. And so, Pierre, on your side, why collaborating with IMREDD is so essential to your business? And we also actually have a question for you. I think someone is asking, who would you consider to be your competitors?
In fact, the IMREDD was the obvious partner to play with, because this is a long story. We have been collaborating in previous life with IMREDD, with Eric and Paolo, and it's also a place where you have on one side the talent. We don't have at Epicnpoc in terms of specific subject. We need, in fact, their help in order to make the user experience more, let's say, with more willingness compared to what we can experience with the GAFAM. We want to create, in fact, a new experience, a new era experience where the data is not just grabbed by the company, but to create a real passport for the user experience. Okay, and definitely IMREDD is the place where we are going to cook this kind of R&D work. And as Lenny also mentioned, on one side, IMREDD is really driven by R&D, but they're also driven by the business, and this is also mandatory for a small company than Epicnpoc.
Thank you. And Eric, actually, it's close to the end, but before we stop, one of the questions is, how do you find those innovative companies, or how do you identify your partners and the companies you work with?
Good question.
Yeah, I think it's a question actually for me, because we do research over here. So we work together with our ecosystem to answer the problem of the territory. So we don't not just make the research to go to the market, but we have a problem to find a solution. And sometimes solutions related to technology, sometimes just a use case, a use behavior. And because we need to answer those questions, we start to research those technologies. And companies come with ideas, and we put everything together, and sometimes we need to design new things. And those things that we design allowed us to find not just innovation, but partners that want to innovate with us. I think the ecosystem here, the force of this ecosystem is that because we work together. Okay, if you come to here, you talk with everybody, and in the end of the day, we work together, because we have some problems and we need to answer those problems. So I think that's the main force of the territory. The innovation of the territory is based on that. And because in our force, our strength is there, also there. So if you want to come to here to innovate, know that we really work with real problems. So that's make us innovation so easy.
Thank you, Paolo. And I think we have one last question, and that might be actually a question for Jean-François. So if you're not able to bring a company into the area, where do you find they go instead? So if you have one or two examples, that'd be good.
Is the question I don't get the question exactly. I mean, the question is, if the company doesn't want to go to the area, how do we try to talk with her to attract them? So I don't understand the question precisely.
So maybe Alexandra, if you want to rephrase that question, or maybe give more details on that question, what you meant.
Yeah, you guys can hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Hello. Thank you for the presentation. This has been very exciting. My question is more about the competing areas that also have similar services. So if you aren't able to bring a business into the south of France, into your area, where do you find that they go instead?
Oh, yeah. First of all, I would say that the criteria for the companies to come to the area changed or evolved a lot over the last years. And when I started this job, I mean, the company were only looking to the financial incentives, and they had a very structured strategy from scratch to what they do and they were going to do over the 5 years coming. Now they act by opportunities, and they're going where they can find the best solutions in terms of talent. At least this is what we are. We analyze in our area. We're not a manufacturing area. We're a place where you have, as you understood, many R&D projects, decision centers, technical support, customer support, and that type of investments. And the company come to the area because they can find or easily attract, as I said, the top talent people, and find in France the tax credit on research, which is very important in our place compared to other locations. When they and it's very case by case analysis. I mean, according to the project, the customer you want to be close to, the team you want to recruit, the location you want to be to reach your markets, then the location might be different. More or less, the short list we are on is probably 1 or 2 major areas in Germany, and probably or in France. It's not to say that we have no competitors. It's if you want to go to Paris, it's because you have a national strategy. If you want to go to our place, it's because you have a European strategy, because we are more European oriented than purely national market oriented. Before the Brexit, I mean, UK was, and especially for US companies, a big competitor for us because, of course, this was the #1 destination for the US company willing to establish a business in Europe, or at least a basis in Europe, because of the language, but not only. Due to the Brexit, I think, and because of the Brexit itself, but also because the Brexit will probably have consequences in terms of attracting talent and people. US company will review their strategies and go and try to see what happens in continental Europe. Therefore, I would say Germany today will be our big competitor in Europe, and of course, I mean, probably US and other alternative location will become competitors in terms. Of course, Silicon Valley is much bigger than us, but with the digital era today, I think that establishing a small team of expert people is going to be easy in every location worldwide. So I think that we're going to be compared to other locations in the US and other in Europe. But to answer the questions, I mean, most of the companies that don't come to our place, they now go where they can find people. It can be, and more or less, I mean, Germany is a good location, even if it's tough to recruit people. But it's a new world, I mean, really for us also. Probably Paris is going to be our competitor also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, if not, we can certainly conclude this event. And thank you, everyone, for your time, for your participation this morning. Big thank you as well to our speakers for the speeches and advice. And a special thanks to our organization team, Amandine from Business France and Jean-François from Team Côte d'Azur. The 3 of us remain at your disposal for any further questions you may have, and we'll be more than happy to organize one-on-one meetings to take the discussion further. The PowerPoint will be sent to you in a follow-up email. But again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.